Welcome back to our short deKoder snippets. Today, Dorab and I would like to talk about the rise of regional parties in India and how it reflects a true federal democracy. For the first 40 years after independence, centralized national parties dominated the Lok Sabha elections. But since 1992, state or regional parties have seen a sharp rise in seats, going up to 136 seats in the current Lok Sabha.
Prannoy, this is not surprising. There is a history to it. The parties after independence for the first 15-20 years were national parties that fought the British. So they didn't have a regional cause. It's after parties like the Shiv Sena came, etc. Then also after the emergency when Janata Dal broke up, lots of parties were created, regional parties. So there's a transition from parties that only had a national cause to parties that now predominantly only have a regional cause.
In fact, actually, Dorab, this has meant a major change in India's democracy, from a centralized to a federal democracy. In the 25 years after independence, national parties won 95% of the seats and regional parties won only 5%. But look what happened in the last 20 years. The share of seats of the national party have fallen from 95 to 65, while seats won by regional parties have gone up 7 times, from 5% to 35%. A huge transformation, right?
Yes, it is, because every state now has a party of its own, which operates predominantly within that party. Regional parties that have tried to spread their wings have almost invariably failed. They are parties of that region for that region.
Right. Now just compare the increasing popularity of regional parties with the decline of some national parties, particularly the Congress. In fact, if you look at it, the rise of the BJP can be attributed almost solely to the fall in the popularity of the Congress. The more the Congress has dropped, the more the BJP has gained. Conversely, the rise of the BJP has had no effect on regional parties, whose popularity has continued to rise over the decades. One factor that could slow down the growth of regional parties are simultaneous elections, in which Lok Sabha and state assembly elections are held together. Voting data shows that when assembly and Lok Sabha elections are held at different times, non-simultaneous, the central or national parties their votes drop 10.2% in the assembly compared with the most recent Lok Sabha. However, in simultaneous elections, national parties get only 1.8% lower votes in the assembly compared to the Lok Sabha.
Yeah, this is because I think people when the elections are not simultaneous, they concentrate on local issues. When elections are simultaneous, they're partly concentrated on the national issues, partly on the local issues. And the national leadership also has an impact on the local election.
Right. And also when a person goes into a polling booth and he's got 2 EVMs, this is Lok Sabha, this is Assembly, very difficult to say I'll vote differently in both. In other words, just to summarize what Dorab said, when the Lok Sabha and Assembly elections are held separately, the distinct issues of state and the centre are clearer for the voter. Voters are able to make a clear decision in non-simultaneous elections compared with the muddle of central and state issues in simultaneous elections. So that's it for this deKoder snippet. Do take a look at our other deKoder snippets on our app or our website deKoder.com.